I would like to introduce myself a little bit, and I would like to say that I joined Quaid-e-Azam University way back in 1973 as a lecturer while I was doing my PhD at Mathematics Department of then Islamabad University, which was later named to be as Quaid-e-Azam University. And incidentally, I would like to say that I was the third person who graduated from Pakistan, a PhD from Pakistan. 66 or 67, Islamabad University was established, and I was the third person who graduated from Islamabad University as a PhD graduate. Before that, there was no PhD program available in Pakistan, and Islamabad University was pioneering in that. And my teacher with whom I did my PhD, that was Professor Rashid, who was a very renowned mathematician, and he served Pakistan for a very long time as a professor at the department. I did complete my PhD in 1976, and in 1973 I joined Islamabad University as a lecturer, and later on, you see, I continued serving at Islamabad University, and I took the position of the assistant professor, associate professor, and later on to be professor at the department, and also was the chairman of the department for 6 years. During this period of mine, you see that I happened to visit various places, and that was the ICTP. I went as a visiting mathematician to ICTP, Trieste, Italy. Then I was also awarded the Fulbright Fellowship, for which I did my postdoctoral fellowship from Kingston University, Rhode Island, and later also I got the Diet Fellowship for the Germany. And so these were my experiences while doing my postdoctoral experience outside Pakistan. Later on, you see, in 2002, I joined COMSATS Institute of Information Technology at Ahmedabad, which I remained there for 2 years until 2004. And in 2004, that I came and joined the COMSATS Institute of Information Technology in 2004 as a professor at the department. And later on in 2007, at the time of my superannuation, I was appointed as the Eminent Professor at COMSATS Institute of Information Technology. And this was a unique position for me, because I was the first person to be appointed as Eminent Professor. And since 2004 until 2021, you see, I served at the COMSATS University as an Eminent Professor. Firstly, I would like to say that what do I feel, what is the role of the universities in the development of the nations and all that. What I believe, what I perceive of the university is there should be a moral-based and value-based education that should be given at the universities. And the universities are the places where the ideas are developed, where the innovation is made, and where the nations are built. I see the universities in this perspective, and these should be the objective of the university, to build a strong nation, a strong people that should be capable of doing all possible things for the development and the progress of the country. my another important feeling about the university is that there should be an excitement at the university level. There should be discussions at the university level. There should be excitement in the teaching and education and the morality and the ethical values and the academic and the moral academic values at the universities. We should be promoted at that place. And those are the very, very important factors. Along with the education, along with giving the degrees, there should be the following principles. We should be very, very strongly based over there. Another important thing is that there should be no politicization in the universities. These are the important concepts which I believe the universities are to deliver. And for a teacher, what should a teacher should do? A teacher should be a compassionate teacher with a passion for the research and for the teaching and for the welfare of the students. My principle throughout my education has been my core values for my students, the welfare of my students, the progress of my students, and the development of my students, not only in the education, not only in giving them the teaching and the research, but also giving them confidence, self-respect and the dignity, and inculcating a spirit of selflessness and dignity and honesty, which are the very strong values which should be given to the students of the university. So my principle throughout has been that full commitment and the dedication and the whole concentration should be on the welfare and the progress of my student. This was my sole objective, and I have found that this has paid a lot to my students. I would like to mention over here that I have produced something like 30 PhD students throughout my teaching career, and all of them, majority of them, they have got the same spirit of helping the students, building up the character building of the students, and the education and the full devotion to the research and the teaching. That has been the hallmark of all my students. And I have been lucky in this respect that with the equation which I got with my research student, they could excel in their fields, and they are doing an excellent job at Pakistan at the various universities and outside Pakistan also. Okay. The point is that you see, I joined almost after retiring Quaid-e-Azam University for serving wholeheartedly at the Quaid-e-Azam University until almost my retirement. Naturally, I took retirement from my university 2 years early. I joined 2000, you see, I got retirement in 2006. My leave from the Quaid-e-Azam University for various assignments. I served in the Middle East also for 3 years. I went for the Fulbright Fellowship to United States. I went to Italy for an associate professorship. I went to Germany on a grad fellowship. But my commitment always remained with my university, that is the Quaid-e-Azam University. And you see, maybe it's important to mention that many of our colleagues who went to Middle East at that time, there was a lot of lucrative jobs which were available over here, and I had only 3 years of my extraordinary leave from Quaid-e-Azam University, which I availed in Middle East. But after the expiry of that, I opted to come back to Pakistan and to serve at my university. My sincere feeling was that the university and Pakistan has given us a lot, and I would like to return it to Pakistan. And I was the first few people at the Quaid-e-Azam University who established the PhD program at the Quaid-e-Azam University at that time. And I was lucky in getting very good students. And from the very beginning that I started, researching the students for the PhD program. And that was my real commitment and dedication to come back to Quaid-e-Azam University. And at that time, you see, in the last decade of the previous century, there was a lot of good institutions which were being developed at Pakistan, at the various places. In a big way, the education was being reformed at the higher education level. And it was at that point of time that after almost completing my service at the Quaid-e-Azam University, Professor Junaid Zaidi, that he established the university, the COMSATS Institute of Information Technology. And we were at Quaid-e-Azam University was hearing the success and the good practices which were taking place at the COMSATS Institute of Information Technology. And by the inspiring leadership and the qualities of Professor Junaid Zaidi, and firstly I was approached by the director of Ahmedabad Institute that now that it is time that you also serve and develop the institutions other than which are being developed in Pakistan. So I accepted the proposal of Dr. Harun Rashid, and I joined COMSATS Institute of Information Technology at Ahmedabad. I served there for 2 years over there, and then you see, perhaps it was a little bit difficult for me to come and to commute from Islamabad. My family was based over here, to commute between Ahmedabad and this. Therefore, I requested the Harun Sahab and Professor Junaid Zaidi, and Professor Dr. Junaid Zaidi asked me that you may join at Islamabad campus. I would like to mention over here that after 2 days when I joined COMSATS Institute of Information Technology at Islamabad, after 2 days there was my flight to Saudi Arabia as a full professor with the maximum salary. And at that point of time, I decided whether Pakistan needs me more or should I go outside Pakistan for greener pastures. I decided it for Pakistan. I must say that with the dynamic leadership of Dr. Junaid Zaidi, his vision of the institute and the reputation which it carried at that moment of time in Islamabad, how the best practices are being used at the COMSATS Institute of Information Technology, I decided to serve at the COMSATS Institute of Information Technology rather than going as a full professor to King Abdulaziz University, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. So that was my motivation, that I wanted to serve to the people of Pakistan, to the student of Pakistan, which has always been very close and dear to my heart. Whatever I enjoyed in Pakistan was interaction with my students, interaction with my PhD students, my respect which I got from and the level of the achievement they were making, and making the changes over here in Pakistan in developing a very strong research group in Pakistan. That was the motivation for me to join the COMSATS, now the COMSATS University Islamabad. I am very lucky that I was respected like anything. This has been a wonderful time for me to be at this university. All the people, all the administration, they have given me a special status, and they were very, very kind and benevolent to me, and I enjoyed it thoroughly, and I respect all the people to whom I met at the university, to all my colleagues which I met over in the university, that they have given me an excellent space, and these were perhaps the best years of my life which I look forward to, and I have great value for this, and the respect for all those who made my stay at the university such valuable, such profitable, and such productive for the students of my for my MS students and for my PhD students who completed their PhD from the COMSATS University as my supervisor. As I've said earlier, that the university are places where the ideas are generated, where the innovations are made, and where the nations are made. To me, the universities, the education means this, to make a man perfect in character, with an impeccable character, and with a high degree of education, high degree of research. What I emphasize is particularly that the teaching should be the hallmark of the university. The most important ingredient at the university, that should be the teaching. What I found at the COMSATS University, because I've been serving at the public sector university and a very elite university at Quaid-e-Azam University, which has got its wonderful traditions, which are the wonderful research experience over there. But I also found at the COMSATS University the discipline, the respect for the teacher, and the discipline which was given. I emphasize the proactive decision, and all the things which were anticipated over there was with a visionary concept. But you see, when I joined the university, that was in the expansion state, that it was expanding. Not it was expanding in terms of mathematics, but it was expanding in terms of the whole scenario. The campuses were being built at the various places. The departments were expanding. The new departments were being generated. And that was the time for 10 or 15 years when there was the expansion of this, giving a vision to that, giving how the future outlook of the education in Pakistan should be, and what should be the best practices we should be given at the university level, so that it can develop into a very strong institution. And the concept at that time was that the best teachers who are available, maybe they are, you see, as close to the superannuation, and the advisors and the superannuated people, those were inducted. The best of the best were inducted at the COMSATS University. And that was the time in which the legacies were being developed at the universities, where the best practice of the rest of the Pakistan were being introduced at the same level, at the same place. And this was also because of the situation that I was firstly approached by the COMSATS University. Now this is the time for for you people to come and to build this institute. And at that time, the vision was to develop this institute to be one of the best universities of Pakistan. And you see, definitely the COMSATS University has been successful in doing that, and it has come to the level of second or a third university. In some disciplines, it stood first in Pakistan. In some disciplines, it may be second or something like that. And overall, the standing of the COMSATS University in HEC rating was amongst the top 5 universities in a period of 10 to 15 years. You see, maybe 15 years. You see, it was right on the top, and you can look up at the number of the universities and the age of the universities at the various places of Pakistan, how remarkably this institute, and what I feel is what was the vision of the rector and the person, the founder members of this university, and the select of the people from amongst the various universities of that, who may have retired from the other places, and giving a direction to the university, giving the best of the best to the university in giving that, and the university has been successful in that. Not only the progress was made in teaching with the discipline of that, not only the progress was made in the research, and the university crossed the level of 1,000 research publication very soon, not only in that, but also in terms of the expansion. And we can all see that there are perhaps 5 or 6 campuses now at the COMSAT, and this was the motivating point for many of us for joining the COMSAT University, that we may also contribute something which is taking lead, which is taking an exemplary progress in the university, and to be part of that and to make the contribution. There has been the vision of the directors and the rectors to take this university along, to have the recognition in Pakistan, to get the maximum from the HEC, to give the projects and to win the projects and to expand that. That was this. What was our job at this? That we should give a real meaning to education at our department, with devotion, with commitment, and with the vision that the vision of what should have been the vision of a teacher, what should have been the role of a teacher. The role of the teacher is the model. The role model should be a teacher. When you are going to the classroom, when you are going to interact with your research student, the values which you give to the students, that makes the institute. This is, always remember that the level of the students, the level of the research cannot exceed the level of the teachers. Therefore, the teachers should be the top class caliber people we should be around. The rest is being cared and being taken care by the performance, by the character, by the education, by the research level, by their personality, by their integrity, by their dignity, which contributes to the development of the department. And once you see, you pick up the best of the best teacher. If you want to build up a university, you must have the top class faculty. The top class faculty must be not only in the teaching and the research, but they should have a high level of the character and the character building, characters and the personality, which matters for this. And this was the start of the university, where the best of the best people. May I talk of the mathematics? I would like to add Professor Dr. Gauri, and you see later on there was Dr. Rashid Saab also, we joined. There was Professor Dr. S.M. Jusa, we joined this institute. Myself later on, you see, joined this institute. And all those people who have got the vision, that who have got the impact on the society, on their students, in their behavior, in their education, in their demeanor, in their talking, and their selflessness and all that, which contributed into this. And then there, because the challenges were at the other level of the progressing and making it getting the funds and making it to be an expansion, and that was done by the administrator and the rector Saab and all those people and the director to make it possible. And the job of the teacher was, and perhaps that was the best vision at that time, that this is a new emerging university, and the best of the best people who retire from the various universities or who are supposed to be doing a great job at the various universities must be inducted at that time. And that was the vision, and which was the possibility which made this institution a very, very strong institution in its tradition, in its culture, and its legacy, which is continuing till today. That I think that we should better look upon the development, the phases which the Pakistan higher education has gone through in the last 40-50 years. I have been associated. You see, now my experience, you may call, or my association and attachment with education is now almost, it is almost 50 years. It is almost 50 years. I did my MSc from Punjab University. I have seen the all in the Punjab University as being a student of that department, and later on I joined CUI University as an MPhil student, then as a PhD student, then I became a lecturer. So all the process which has gone through the higher education, the formation and the development and the progress of the higher education, I have been witness to all these things. And the different decades, there have been different forces which have been acting, which have been at the various places of our education system. I remember that in the Punjab University we were only 50 students, which were the class of our MSc, and see, most of the students, they were committed and very good students. And I've seen that after the completion of the MSc degree, out of 50, there used to be something like 5 students who did their PhD, 5 to 7 students, every graduate MSc class, they did their PhD. And at that time, it was the time that our teachers and all those who were teaching us at the various universities, there were not many universities at that time. You see, that was the Punjab University, and then perhaps it was not Karachi University, that was the Peshawar University. Multan University came into being later on. Quaid-e-Azam University came almost at the same time over here at Islamabad, and all that. And all those PhDs, those were foreign PhDs. There was no PhD program in Pakistan. And I must say that this teaching and the teachers standard at that time, they were very committed, they were very honorable, and they have inculcated a self-respect and a dignity and honor in our time at the university, at the Punjab University. Then you see, at the later stage, again at the university, at the CUI University, most of the PhD, the teachers were from outside Pakistan, but that was the first research-based university which started the program of MPhil and a PhD program, and that was a huge success. A very, very brilliant and competent professor were hired at the CUI University. And as I was saying that the traditions are set for the first time. What is the start of the university? How you establish the university? And the university was established at a very, very high standards. The most brilliant of the brilliant brains, those were inducted at the CUI University. And we were lucky to get a place over here for our MSc and later on our PhD from CUI University. And that was the time when we started looking up at there should be the institutions of the higher learning. We should be capable of replacing the foreign universities with the universities from within Pakistan. The CUI University was established with that vision, and for a very long time the university served this purpose. and served this purpose, and very, very brilliant people were produced from this, who served in Pakistan also and served outside the country. But later on, you see, there was, at the time, there was in 70s and early 80s and 90s, perhaps there was a huge brain drain which took place from Pakistani universities, because there was expansion going on in the Middle East, and I should say that the difference between the salaries naturally that was very different, and so many people, you see, went outside Pakistan, and the universities were starving at that point in the local market, even at the Qaeda University and Punjab University and the other university. And this was the time when there was a brain drain, and it went, you see, through 80s, through 90s and all that. And you see that the turning point again came in our higher education, when we also started to realize that there should be some research and the teaching and the education expansion in the higher education. And it was in 90s that this concept of the HEC developed, and there was a huge funding, and the higher education was given importance at the various places. And this was the time when a lot of the private sector universities emerged, and it was the time when the COMSATS University also came into being, and our research program at the various universities established in a big way, and which is now being given also. Now, the point is that I have given it an overview of the situation, how our educations, you see, went along all these things, all these years, how our higher education progressed, how it went through all these phases at the various time base. My experience, for example, from the day one, you see, I liked this profession very much. Luckily, you see, it was in resonance with my nature and all that. And this is why, you see, when I came back from the Middle East, it was 1981. And at the 1981, very few people were left in Pakistan, and even at the Qaeda University. And here we were 2-3 people, myself, Professor Dr. Asghar Kader, and perhaps 1 or 2 more. Or, you see, most of the people have left for Middle East, and we started and tried to establish the PhD program at the Qaeda University. At that time, there was no priority of education at the various universities, at the university places, and we have to work very, very hard in making us the impact on the education, particularly on research and the PhD program, and which was established. We did it in 80s, we did it in 90s, we did it in the early 2000s, and through all these years we have kept this going on, that the whole system and the progress which was started at the Qaeda University as a pre-PhD program, as an elite university, as a place which could be a substitute for the universities outside the country, with the foreign universities also. We try to keep this possible. And thank God that we have been lucky, and in this meantime also we have been producing PhD from Quaid-e-Azam University. The affiliation, the commitment, and the association of myself with the PhD student, that is precisely so one-to-one, that this gives you a lot of job satisfaction, your inner self, your inward satisfaction and all that, that you see clicked with myself, and that passion I continued of supervising my PhD and PhD student until 2021. and I would like to say that still since I have been retired from the COMSATS University, I am still having a PhD student with me. I am supervising without any reward and without any ihsan to anybody, that I feel it so confident and confident, and I'm still continuing doing my PhD my research with the students of the COMSATS University, with the students of the Quaid-e-Azam University, and with the faculty of the COMSATS University in the physics department also, and the people who have left our university. Still I'm continuing with that. And my reformation at that time was, at the time when there was no PhD supervision in the 80s, I attached myself, I dedicated myself to the PhD class and to the PhD students, and that passion is still with me, and I am very glad to say that when this COMSAT, when this Corona will inshallah go, then I have offered to the Department of Mathematics that I am willing to give the course to the PhD students at the COMSATS University free of cost. And that was my reformation of that time, that I dedicated myself with my complete satisfaction with my PhD students. And I enjoyed so thoroughly with my PhD students that, you see, incidentally, I would like to say that I was so inspired, so committed, so dedicated, so happy with my situation that I never preferred, I never applied for, I never went for any administrative position which, until it is given to me by the university for some their own reason that you should also come, I never asked for it, I never went for any administrative position, and I never wanted to be at any administrative position, and this was my interest and my passion for my teaching and research students. And my reformation is that still I am working as at the age of 75, I am still doing research, I am still helping my PhD students, I am still working and collaborating in research with the various teachers and the professor, not only with mathematics department, but with the physics department. The point is that, as I've said earlier also, that the universities are the places where the ideas are generated, where the innovations are made, and where the generations and where the nations are made. Now the thing is that how do we see in Pakistan? What my feeling is the following: that our grassroots education, that is the primary education, that is the secondary education, and the college education, is not at the right level. The concepts and the attitudes for the innovation, for the critical analysis, for the new ideas, this is being developed right from the beginning. My feeling is that our college education and our school education, that should be more pragmatic, and for that there should be a very, how can we do that? We can do one thing, is that there should be an extremely careful analysis of picking the teachers. What the facilities should be given to the teachers, that should be very important. And there should be a very broad-based way to say what I mean to say. There should be 90% of the enrollment in the primary education. There may be also a huge students body we should be taking up to the secondary level, and a huge level of the people who should be doing to the professional colleges and all that. That is very important, that how big your data is, and from there how many students are getting out of it. Naturally, if for example we are going to get a 2%, and if there are 100 students, then the 2% will be a 2 students. And if we are going to make it 10,000, and still we are taking a 2%, and that will be making a huge difference at the end of the day. The broadening of the education at all the levels, that is needed. The curriculum, that should be more of the, not on the cramming, not on the examination based, not with the ideas which should be given to the student, that these are the marks which are the important, these are the grades which are the important, but the essence of the education should be the critical analysis, the probing of that, and getting why this is happening, and to acquire the understanding of the subject. That must be. But I think, unfortunately, our education system is not geared for that. But we mostly try to look up at the grades, maybe at the intermediate level, maybe at the O level or the A level. And I think that the mindset that needs to be changed. And who is going to change the mindset of the people? I think that these are the professors and the university teachers, because all the people who are working at the colleges, at the various places, they have been the student at the university level, and it is the extreme responsibility, our responsibility, the responsibility of the teachers, because the level of the students cannot exceed the level of the teacher. There should be an impeccable character of the teachers. There should be a visionary teacher, and the whole and the sole responsibility for improving the education system of the higher education that lies on the teacher, right from the primary up to the university level. It lies upon and the whole investment should be given in the education to the development of the teaching community. The development of the teaching community, their welfare, and there should be a strict criteria in getting who should be inducted for teaching, maybe at the primary level, maybe at the university level. Because once again I would like to say that there be a strict criteria for the appointment, because that is a nation building, the most important job. That is the nation building, the most difficult job, that is the nation building, and the nation building can be done only by the character, by the level of the understanding education and the understanding of the teachers at the various places. And there should be a huge investment at the primary level. There should be a huge amount of the students. 90% of the students should be going there. And similarly, at all levels, there should be a huge encouragement from this in terms of the scholarship for the brilliant at each level. And the most brilliant should be picked from there, and for the higher. And once, until you take it to the grassroots level, to across the country, this 20% or the 30%, the literacy rate is not enough to produce the exact level of the education in the country. There should be at least 80 or 90%. Then you see the brilliant brains will be coming. Then there will be a change in the society. And for that, the teacher's selection and the teacher's motivation and the teacher's appointment should be very, very restrictive. They should be honored, they should be respected in the society, and they should be taken care of, and the huge responsibility lies on the teacher, and this is ultimately the decision, and the level of the education will be decided by the teachers. Many of you will be presenting themselves at such a level over there that the rest of the people start to emulate them, that this is the correct level of this. That is why the most brilliant the Nobel laureates, for example, the Nobel laureates never retire. Why do they take the Nobel laureates at the top universities of that? Because they say that those will be the benchmark, those will be the people who are, those will be at the university, they will be a source of inspiration. They will be a source of vision and wisdom to the society. And you see, the people, this is only which you cannot tell, but you can display yourself that this is the way a professor should conduct, this is the way it should present, this is the way he should talk, this is the way he should, its presence should be at the same. For example, I went to the Diet Fellowship. I went for the Diet Fellowship, and at that time it was perhaps 92, it was 1992, and the Soviet Union, and that was open at those days, and many of the visiting professors were at the Stuttgart University, and I was also one of those. You see, for 3 months, and you see, nobody asked me that what you are doing over here, and they were giving me a very, whatever you see, paying me a very handsome, and I've been selected from Pakistan, and I was working there for 3 months. Nobody asked me when you come and when you go. What did you do over here? Did you contribute anything over here or not? We have been spending this much of money on you. Have you made any contribution? Nobody asked me. So the day I asked the professor, well, you see, you spend a huge lot of money, and many people are around, not only from Pakistan. I was only from Pakistan at the various, and in from the Russia also, and there were many from other. And you see, you are asking and you are giving so much money to these people, but you are not asking anything. No question is being asked. Nothing is being asked what you are doing. Nothing you ask that what you have contributed. Why are you spending? Why are you spending? Oh, his answer was that I selected the person who are the most eminent in their country. And when they come in the department, they stay it over here, they walk around in our corridors, they sit in our tea room, they interact with any people over here, and that is the contribution what I want. The brilliant people, when they are around, they make an impact over there, and they make a contribution which may be visible, which may not be visible, and this is the invisible contribution which they make. Therefore, we invite the best brains that how do they behave, how do they talk, how do they conduct over here, how do they interact with the people, how do they collaborate with the people, how do they talk with the people and all that. This is what we want to see, this is what we want to learn. The advice I would like to give is that be a model, a professor should be a model. That everybody who sees the person, he says that this is a different person. And I say that be honest to your profession, be honest to yourself, be honest to your nation, be honest to your faith, and you will be an excellent teacher, you will be an excellent human being, and you will be an excellent contribution to the I would like to say, I give a message to my students, that you know that you have come to the university, you have adopted a profession, is your decision that I wanted to do this thing. You have taken the responsibility of doing that. You have made a commitment with yourself that I want to do the following. You have made a commitment with your parents that I want to do the following thing. You have made a commitment to the society that I want to do the following. And once you have decided to do the following, be honest to your commitment, be honest to yourself, and be honest to your society, and be honest to your nation. And once you take up this, and what I would like to say is that university, I stress the most, The university is not only the place from where you get the degree. Do not go for the degree alone. Go for the education. Go for the integrity. Go for the honor. Go for the nationalism. Go for the innovation. Go for the higher goals. Go for the higher values, and with an impeccable character. When you come out of this, you will say that not only I have the following degree, but now I am a reformed person. I am the following person who will behave differently in the street, in the office, with the parents, with the public, with the decision making, with the nation, with any decision made should be looked up that this person is a dignified person. This is correct. This is hugely different from the rest of the people. Try to make yourself that you are an honorable man, honorable person of the society, and you should be not only telling the people, you should look like, your actions should speak for it, that you are a different person after graduating from the university. I really appreciate once again that there are COMSATS University, there are young people who are trying to contribute positively to the development of the extracurricular activities and building up this to be a very strong institution, not only in education, teaching and research, innovation, but also developing into a very comprehensive, value-based institution.